Today I've gone ahead and made one of my favorite quick warm beverages. It's one I've shared with you before, the London Fog. It's just some heated up plant-based milk, a sprinkle of cinnamon, an Earl Grey tea bag, and that's it. So simple and so comforting. For about a year, I worked as a dietitian at an osteoporosis clinic. Osteoporosis is a disease of the bones. It happens when we either lose too much bone or we don't make enough bone, or both. And I think a lot of times people think that it's a disease that old people get, and when we're young and healthy, it's really easy to overlook our bones because they're doing okay. But if there's one thing I learned during my time working there, it's that we can only prevent the disease by the actions that we take today. Because once you develop osteoporosis, you can't really reverse it. So today I was hoping we could chat a little bit about our bone health. So here's the thing, a lot of people think that they're gonna somehow know if their bones are getting weak, but osteoporosis is often also called the silent thief because we can't always feel it in our bones. There are no symptoms until a bone fracture occurs. And it's not as easy as taking a blood test to find out either. You see, our body keeps the calcium level in our blood at a set amount. So even if you're not getting in enough calcium from foods, your body's just gonna take it from your bones to keep that blood level at its set amount. So how do you know how much you need to get and what the sources are? We've written a more comprehensive article on the blog already. I'm gonna leave that link in the description box below. Today we're just gonna go over the bare basics. So pretty much if you're under the age of 50, you wanna aim for about 2 servings of calcium-rich foods per day. And if you're over the age of 50, you wanna aim for about 3 servings a day. Calcium-rich foods for people on a plant-based diet, these are things like cooked bok choy, cooked kale, tofu that's been set in a calcium brine, and fortified plant-based milks and plant-based yogurts. More or less 1 serving of each of those items is about 1 cup of each of those items. Now other food sources also have calcium but in smaller amounts. These are things like broccoli and almonds and oranges, wonderful foods, but we're not going to contribute this to our 2 servings a day. Same thing goes with certain kinds of beans and nuts as well. They actually have certain inhibitors in them that bind to calcium and decrease our body's ability to absorb them. So they're still wonderful foods and they still do give us some calcium, but we're just going to treat these foods as a bonus to our overall calcium intake for the day. Now, a few important things to mention here. For starters, we always recommend getting your calcium from food over supplement whenever possible. Food just offers such a complex array of nutrients that no one supplement can really provide. But a lot of you also often ask, well, is having fortified milks and yogurts not kind of the same thing as taking a supplement? And the answer is yes, kind of, but we still recommend those fortified foods over supplement. The reason being, with a single supplement, it's rather easy to overdo it. And you really want to make sure that you're not taking too much consistently over the long term because that can have some pretty nasty side effects. But when you're getting it from fortified foods, it's not as easy to overdo. You know, drinking 4 cups of almond milk back to back is not something most people do, but it's easy to get that same amount of calcium from a single small little tablet. The other benefit of getting it from the food itself is that those foods offer additional nutrients. So having something like yogurt, for instance, gives us probiotics. Soy milk also gives us some extra protein. Other plant milks have naturally occurring vitamins and minerals. So you can see why we still say that food over supplements and fortified food over supplements whenever you can. Now here's another tip. If you're going to be enjoying those fortified milks and yogurts, give the bottle a shake before you serve it because the calcium tends to sediment at the bottom and that way you can bring it back out into solution to enjoy. You also want to make sure that you're getting enough vitamin D because vitamin D helps our bodies absorb calcium in the gut even better. If you're not sure about vitamin D and you want to learn more, we've written an article all about it on the blog, so I'll leave that link for you in the description box below. Now keep in mind there are several reasons why people can develop osteoporosis, and some of the factors we can't control, like our genes, but other factors we can control, like our food choices. Other factors that can also benefit our bones are things like getting enough exercise, consuming alcohol moderately, if at all, and eliminating smoking. All right, so I hope that this video has helped to increase your confidence when it comes to taking control of your bone health. Take-home messages are we want to aim for about 2 to 3 servings of calcium-rich foods a day, ideally from food over supplements whenever we can, and those fortified foods are wonderful options as well. Thank you for enjoying this London Fog with me. Hope to see you in the next video. Until then, have an awesome week.